I think I have it on that.
Okay, so now I'm talking.
Yes, I hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
And when I go to my presentation, will you just share the screen, or how does that work?
Yeah, so
Want me to try it?
yeah, go ahead, hit share screen, because I enabled you to do that.
Okay, so I'll go back to one of my things and try it.
So go to the top, go to the Zoom window again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then blow it up, hit that green arrow. And then hit this, the share screen.
Where is it? All right,
Right
share
there.
screen.
And then hit screen. Oh, you could do that too, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that, right? Does that work? Let me go check my computer. I think that worked. Oh, and then the other one. Yeah, no, that works.
Okay.
And I hear you.
Okay.
And don't worry, I'll shut off the echo because I'll just go like this.
Okay,
right.
perfect. And what about these things? Should I get rid of them, or
What?
these things?
So they get you don't even have to worry about it. And if you want to get rid of it.
So they don't see that?
Yeah, so I don't think so, but here, if you want to get rid of it, just hit that minimize button at the right here. And then yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, cool, right?
Okay, so this is working. I'm going through this. Oh, it tells me that I'm talking. That's good.
Cool.
Now, let me just. Okay, so I just have to sort of give it a minute. It's taking a little time to process.
Click it again.
Yeah, I want to.
Oh, that one just needed 2 clicks.
2 click, I guess.
Okay.
I'll need to just.
And maybe I could get you the.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah, if I could. Usually, ooh, here it is. If it works, it works. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
I am.
All right, so on, and then if you just go, boom, it works.
Oh my gosh.
But you might have to hit it twice.
Which one do you press?
This down button to get you to the next one. So hit it a couple times. Boom. How you like that?
Love it.
Okay, cool. I think what's going on though with this first slide, you might have 2 clicks in there.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so we'll just keep the Zoom sessions like this. What's up?
What is that? Skew.
Oh, like this? Yeah. That's the projector.
Oh.
I might be able to fix that too, to be honest. Probably shouldn't give it a shot, but let's try it. Oh, actually, I can. Look, Russ. Look, it's fixing it.
Perfect.
I got it in the middle.
Perfect.
Now, I don't know how to fix that slant though.
What?
Huh.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. I think it's good as can be, right?
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go check on them real quick.
Okay.
Awesome. So we're set up so far.
Okay, how do we get rid of that? Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing?
So much for presenting.
Oh, I'm loving it. Is this machine connected to the Ethernet?
It should be.
Incredibly slow.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm just playing it's not even getting me back to the start of the presentation. Click enough.
Well, then,
Let me
if,
try again.
Russ, if that's the case, we'll just take it off your computer and I'll try to just do it on mine, I guess. You know?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be any better because this is
Oh, you-
Wi-Fi.
So you don't think it's the Zoom? Oh, and mine was giving me the same issue, so you think it's just the Wi-Fi?
That's awful. I mean, that really is awful.
You mean only when you're in presentation mode, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's very slow. I mean,
Oh, you hit next and it didn't go.
yeah.
We're still waiting, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's incredible.
Even if you do it twice?
I don't want to do it twice and skip through. to the
Okay, so
slide.
okay. Wow.
Look at that. I mean, I'm clicking next. Nothing's happening. I might have to present it in here. Just so I know I can do it.
Why don't you jump out of Zoom and see if that helps?
Okay, hold on. How do I get out of Zoom?
Go to Zoom on the bottom.
Where is it? All right,
Yeah.
just quit it.
Yep. Yeah, hit close window, I think should exit. Yeah, and then hit leave a meeting.
I'll leave.
Oh, let's see.
Okay, so.
Here are the.
I just.
Okay.
So
So let me, yeah, I'll just explain that. Hey, everyone on Zoom. I just want to point out that in this room, Russ is having some issues with the computer connectivity. So I hooked my laptop up to show the presentation in this way. All right, in case you were wondering. If you have any questions though, during the presentation, I'll check the chat towards the end. And yeah, I think that's just let me know if there's any issue with seeing the presentations, but this is I think the best that we could do right now. All right, thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. All right, cool. And I hit mirror image so that you guys can see it properly, the slides. And I think his transition on the slides too might be a little slow, so he's going to keep it in this format anyway. All right, cool. The same thing over and over again. I will.
Oh, I do. I
Over the top.
Right, we can start now. Sue's here.
We got it. You got it. You want the lights?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I'll take care of the lights.
Okay. Brothers, sisters, comrades, friends, and those that are just here from downstairs or strange sense of curiosity. Also creditors and debtors. Yes, for coming. Lots of people. Good. I'm going to start. I told you I was going to give you some food for thought. I apologize. I cannot put this in full presentation mode. Something wrong with the technology. And yet you always. Anyway, I promised you some food for thought. So I'll give you a little menu here. There'll be some soup. The main course. You know, I'm British, but I didn't grow up in Downton. But yeah, 15 courses. My parents aspired to do that. So they would always have courses for soup. Your main course. Maybe a little comfort break. And after dinner, only for those that want to. That will the talk will be over. One more slide, 2 minutes to talk. And only this one stay. Okay, so what we do. And if you do have any allergies, I'm not going to be giving you tips for using AI here. I wouldn't insult your intelligence. You could go on and check on your AI and figure it out. So for the soup, some mushroom soup. Mushrooms, fungi, most of them nootropic qualities. And so I'm just going to give some. And that is going to be just some lines. I'm not going to be talking. I generally don't do that. That's known as death by PowerPoint. You stick up all the text and you read it out to them. I'm amazed I go to conferences and professors still do that. I'm amazed I go to classrooms and professors still do that. You put a PowerPoint and they read it out. I'm not going to do that just now. I'm just going to let you enjoy this music. Look at some quotes. And I'll be flicking through this. I'm apologizing if you can't read it. I'll give you a summary. You'll see some of the big quotes. That's for sure. You're listening to our music. The music is now called Scary Things. And this song from 25 years ago. This is the music of your freshman. Your freshman think this is think about that. Remember who main determinants of friendship. Hopefully, they're like you in some way, look like you in the same background. The other one, unusual one, is the other main determinants. We can't talk about music.
Walking to Zoom from here with your PowerPoint.
I can do that.
Cause they can't see it at all.
Well, slows it down that extra.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
So this is what they say. They got that one.
yeah, that was the only option.
Well, I don't know why.
This is what they say.
Yeah, Tara and I were trying to hook it up to the.
Even better, I can get to the non-Zoom stuff earlier. I'm sorry, but
Right.
okay. So here's some things for you to think about. And I'll just go through them at the speed that I think everyone can read. I guess. Famous quote from Einstein: "Imagination is more important than knowledge." The philosophy of Descartes: I doubt, therefore I think. Ignorance stands in the way of socialist success. Eugene Debs. Most prominent presidential candidate to run for the office from jail so far. And I want to dedicate this talk to my dear, dear friend, Anne Pomeroy. A dear friend, beautiful person, great professor, fabulous me. In my experience. Frank Zappa. Information is not knowledge, knowledge is not wisdom, wisdom not. C.S. Lewis. Next best thing to being wise oneself is to live in a circle. No conviction makes such an impression, such a lasting impression in the mind as that which works out for itself. People can tell you things and tell you to do things, unless your mind works out for itself. You won't hold on to it very well. That's past the From a newspaper article I read recently. For as somebody once said, the main purpose of a university education is to teach a man to disagree with another. Fantastic thinker, Deming. Without data, you're just another person. Taking longer than I thought, so I wasn't going to read it out, you know. I'll try the big ones I'm not going to read out. This was meant to just be for you to enjoy the quotes. measures to know what this one you can't read very well, probably. Steve Jobs. It basically says coding. And you can't have jobs. Well, hold on. Another one I threw in, T.S. Eliot, British American, Nobel Prize for Literature. Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the knowledge we have lost in information? Then we couldn't have jobs without was. Never trust a computer you can't throw out of a window. Steve Wozniak, another co-founder. And as I said, we're listening to that. So I'll turn it off now. We don't want it to be clean, do we? I would. Okay, so let's go to the main course. It's going to be some grilled parrot with some sweet and spicy sides. Don't worry, it's not real parrot. It's genetically, it's grown in a lab with using plants. So people. But there are still some people out there with the memory of parrot meat, the taste, the texture. They managed to incorporate that into this new beyond parrot meat. And there'll be some spicy things along. So start off with this little picture, this little painting from 19th century. By Van Gogh. Called the Green Parrot. I apologize to any native Dutch speakers that I'm not saying Van Gogh. I'm from Britain, I say Van Gogh. But at least I don't say Van Gogh. So this was his depiction of a green parrot. People have said that large language models are just stochastic parrots. Actually, we were saying that 2 months ago, we're not saying that anymore. Well, they did start by saying they're stochastic parrots. They can regurgitate stuff. And occasionally, if you give them a little electric shock and send out some garbage to make it random. I think that's underselling AI quite a bit. But it gave me a chance to tell my story about parrots. That's another painting. This is a Van Gogh. Van Gogh. Because I live in two places. That's my language. But Van Gogh. This is a painting in the style of Van Gogh of a Shakespearean parrot in a wooden cage. That's an original composition by me. Using AI, of course, using a very simple AI, DALL-E from OpenAI. So it's a very basic art, generative art AI. It's much better one, isn't it? Anyway, here's my story about parrots, and I've got to get through this quickly. Young couple going to a pet shop in London, and up to the counter, he said, I'd like to buy a wasp. Owner says, wait a minute, we don't sell wasps. That's not a pet. One of the young couple says, oh, hold on, you get two in the window. Okay.
Oh my God.
With my phone, start the car. It's a bad audience. Anyway, you don't want a wasp. Wasp's only got 1 million neurons. You don't want a wasp. And as it happens, ideally, they sell rare parrots. That's what you want. And that's wonderful. Actually, as it happens, it's really for our son. He's introverted, he works in the shell, maybe learning this. We thought a pet would be good. Parrots what we want. Let me take you down and show you these parrots. So he takes them down, he shows them this parrot's in a wooden cage. And he said, this parrot, £250,000. Is that going to be a problem? No. We just sold our startup, AI startup. We're rolling in it. So to tell us what tells us. Okay, well, they get this parrot here, spent his life in the Globe Theatre. Not that Globe, the new Globe Theatre, the reconstructed Globe Theatre in Southern London. All it did, all he was listening to Shakespeare, plays, people talking about Shakespeare, the guest lecturers in the history of Shakespeare. This parrot memorized everything. And now it can regurgitate all of this Shakespeare stuff. More than that, we actually think that it's on Shakespeare. Now we can't prove it, but we think it is. Oh, and we'll take it. That'll be wonderful. We'll take it. You sure? I've got two more I want to show you. Okay. Take it. Wrap it up. No, don't wrap it up. That's just put it in a box. No, don't do a box. Okay, let me show you another parrot. So they walk a bit further down and they come to a parrot in a brand new modern looking cage. Got some toys in there. No, you put them later. All parrots like mirrors. You've got to say pretty toy, pretty toy. Bit some mirrors enough. Anyway, so this parrot spent its life in the Advanced Institute for Physics. No, not that one, another one in Europe. All it knows is physics and science, and STEM formulas, everything about science, it knows it. We've actually put in some toys in there, you know, the mirrors, we get a laser pointer, and a wee, well, remember those little pocket calculators we used to get? Whenever I got one, the first thing we always did was factorial 69 to see how long it took, because that was the highest memory one of those things could hold. But the test was how long it took. Back in high school, 3 seconds. Do factorial 69. Anyway, this parrot knows everything about science. In fact, we've noticed it bouncing the laser pointer off the mirrors and then tapping on the calculator. We think it's coming up with a new theory, general theory of relativity. We even noticed on one of the mirrors there's 2 wee scores down that, almost like a whole slit or something. Incredible. Anyway, this parrot is really amazing. It's 500,000 pounds. We'll take it. Brilliant. Okay. Now there is one more parrot I'd like to show you. Okay. It says, let's go a bit further down. They come to this really messy cage. It's a complete mess. There's food all over the place. There's ripped up bits of paper. What a mess. The parrot itself is all, feathers all coming out. It's over in that corner, kind of sleeping. Oh yeah, it's sleeping because I was here. Yeah, so this parrot, well, what can you tell us about it? Well, this parrot, we don't know what this parrot is. It's £1 million, but we don't know what this parrot is. We just don't know. All we know, other 2 parrots call it. So. A little bit about my cyber story. I've 2 times in my life I felt connected to a machine. When I was 12 years old in 81, I got a ZX81 computer. Looked like that thing up there. Didn't even have a monitor, didn't have a hard disk. You had to plug it in a TV. You couldn't even, you had to save your code on a tape recorder. and load it from a tape recorder. And at first I didn't have a tape recorder, I just had a computer. So I had to get magazines on basic programming. If I type this code in, I can play a game. Terrible game, a really boring game, but I can do it. So I should have typed in 10, 20 lines of code in basic. Oh, I'm playing the game. Oh, we found something great. But I found that I was getting connection to the machine because the machine was doing what I told it to do. I could say, print Russell, print hello Russell, run, and it did it. And a computer is a do what I say machine. An AI is do what I mean machine. But I felt connection to the machine. The last time I felt connected to the machine was this year. I was in maybe I'll wait up to this one. Let's see.
Bottom right, rest of it.
This thing, play.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Sure.
You might be able to just drag it bigger.
Oh, I'm just really there. I was walking through Heathrow and I saw one of these big industrial robot cleaners. Some of you might have the Roomba or something, but this is a big industrial one. My son and I were walking through Heathrow. I was like, what's this coming towards us? Coming down a galley, a small galley. I went, oh, look at this. I looked at it. And there's a wee LCD screen on it, and it said, please do not disturb me, I'm wondering. Wait a minute, that's not here.
Sorry.
That was the last time I felt connection to the machine.
That's cool.
A little bit about my high school. I gravitated, get a computer at 12, I was gravitating towards maths and digital science, those sort of things. Words, writing, not so much. I was terrible at writing. Absolutely awful. I still am. It takes me a long time to write something. A long time. So I was more into math, science, terrible at writing. I intensely disliked writing in my English teacher. Coming up for my entrance exam at university, I had to do an English and one exam that day. And the big exam was on Monday. My parents decided they were going to go away for the weekend. One of us, I'm intense on this. It's a subject I hate. Sunday night, I went down to my old Aunt Kathy, one of my grandmother's friends who was still alive. She was English teacher. Sat with her and do it past the got me ready. And I passed. Woo! Actually, I got an A. Woo! So that was my, I still hated English, hated writing. Now, my university experience, in 1985, as a freshman, I had my aunt type me up on a typewriter, term paper, because I wanted to look good. I did something that wasn't written. So she did it. I mean, that was my freshman year in university. And I was the last class to learn engineering, technical drawing, architectural drawing with a pencil and paper or ink and vellum. The next year, 86, they went to AutoCAD. Big mistake in my opinion. Because writing with pen and paper, you really have to visualize what you're doing. AutoCAD visualizes it for you. PhD took me over a year to write it. I hated writing, couldn't write. I generally use my PhD advisor as a spell checker. Because I already knew, as that happens in PhDs, very quickly you know more about the subject than your advisor, because you're reading more. So my advisor didn't know what I was writing mathematically, so I would use him as a spell check. But during my university, I knew I hate writing. How am I ever going to write? And I just had to muckle through. But I've found that with AI, I can write. In fact, I can write. I feel like I'm writing. I seriously do. I'm 10 times more productive. I'm 10 times more creative than I was before. So I think I'm bionic. By the way, I did a talk in the beginning of summer for high school teachers, and I put up the Steve Austin picture. They look like dogs that have been shown a cart trick. There's one older person in the room that said, "Oh, I remember that $6 million man." I feel bionic. How valuable is the writing? That's important to me. Because AI can write for you. Right? How valuable is writing? To you, this is an individual decision. If it's low value writing that I'm doing now, AI copy and paste. Low value. Right? You know, what some email to somebody, someone stupid. Their report from the dean or something. Copy and paste. Copy and paste, absolutely fine. Now, medium value, and Bob knows the $20. I can tell you later. You just got $20 notes. Medium value, write a first draft. Have go through and edit it, make it your own, check, have AI check it, have AI write the first draft. Yeah. High value, maybe write it yourself, maybe not, but certainly have AI edit it with you. Give it your own voice, but it's high value. By the way, if you get given an essay to grade, first thing you should think, was this written by an AI? Was this written by a human? Was this written by a human working with an AI? Because if you're going to try and disentangle what the human did, what the machine did, for the purposes of academic dishonesty, good luck. I wish you well. So how valuable is writing? So writers, creatives are out of a job. Dang. I don't need a writer now. I don't need an artist. It's not that simple though. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my PhD, because my PhD I was doing multi-physics. I was developing three-dimensional models, developed based on the Reynolds average Navier-Stokes equations. Partial differential equations, a huge set, three-dimensional, solving it on a mainframe computer, tiny grids. That's what I did. But that was multi-physics in the early infancy. There are many, many sophisticated computational models out there now for physics, multi-physics models. COMSOL is a commercial one. OpenFOAM is a open source one, which will eventually win. Open source always wins. But these are a couple of ones that are out there. There's even multi-chemistry models out there. Okay. Combined kinetic equilibrium models. Something called orchestra, you may have heard of. I don't know. And now even multi-biological systems can be simulated. So, if you're going to be doing a multi-physics simulation, in fact, people are doing multi-physics simulations now. where they say, take a teapot, fill it, teapot with water, put a spoon in it, stir it. I want that model of visual physics. Full three-dimensional equation. And it can do it. You don't have to set up the model anymore. It'll do it for you. You just tell it. You just tell it. So all you people in humanities who are working on something that involves water, right? Maybe you need a physics simulation of water. Don't come with me anymore. Just go to the end and say, I want simulation of water. Okay. That's multi-physics. It's musica, multi-chemistry. And it's simulating a fire plume out in the northwest. That's sort of start. Eventually you see something happening. I just read today that because of the wildfires in Canada has now emitted more CO2 than it has in its kind of lifetime. Whoops. Okay, so multi-chemistry, you can do that. And multi-biology is fun. So how do these things work? What do I need to know about them? What do I need to know about the algorithms behind them? How should I incorporate them in my teaching research? Will they change higher education and society? The answer is yes. You're going to need to know a lot of stuff. If you really want to know that, you would need to know a lot of stuff. You need to know about data, size of the data, the variety of the data. You would need to know how the algorithms work, whether it's large language models, whether it's stable diffusion. You need to know something of how they work. Okay. So these are big questions that we should learn, maybe. I've postponed that lecture. I've written it. I've postponed it. I'm going to do it within the academic year after September 1st, when I'm really in the deep within my academic year. Because I'm going to say some things that are quite controversial about the algorithms too. People, I wouldn't do that here because people that are overeducated in AI would be bored. People who are undereducated in AI wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. Prerequisite for that talk is vector calculus. Don't worry, you can still, I'll explain it when you're in middle school. So you can still come to the talk whenever it happens, if it happens. So instead, I'm going to do, instead of that, I'm going to do an as live data analysis. That's not it. That was just a nice thing that was in PowerPoint. Something to do with chemistry. I thought that's cute. I'll put that on there. The data science I'm going to do isn't about chemistry. It's about something I'm interested in, witches. Scottish witches. Very interested in that subject. And Edinburgh University is a wonderful database of Scottish witches who were executed. Why, when, who they were, what age they were. How did the appearance of the devil appear to them? How, all kinds of data. It's a wonderful data set. Edinburgh University. One of the top universities in AI, actually, in the UK. Right, so I'm going to look at witches, and I'm going to do a data analysis. So why am I doing it as live? Because if I pulled up my AI for you to see, you would also see the history of what I've been looking at. I don't want to start. Because I've been said, I've got a few startup ideas I'm developing. I've just got weird questions I've also asked them. So I'm doing an as live demonstration. So I gave it all some of the data from this database on Scottish witches. Firstly, I wanted to check, does the data line up in all the files I've given you? All the data coming, so you want to make sure you've got the same. And it goes through that, tells me if there's unique values, it tells me what's going on. So let's go into one of the files and dig a bit deeper. Tells me the total. I'm saying to the AI, this is AI doing this. I'm saying acting as a data scientist do this. Tells you the number of records, the age, summarizes the columns. Okay, just summarizes everything that we know. Could you repeat it for one of the other files? Sure. And the other. Oh, this file, Kilmacombe came up. That's a town near where my hometown in Scotland. Now it's a very posh town. One of the private high schools in my region. So anyway, so I wanted a more detailed statistical exploratory analysis of age in the workshop when it comes up. And I'll pause it for a minute. This is what it gave me. Just analysing age of witches that died in Scotland. And I got a nice histogram, distribution of ages, a kind of probability distribution, a box plot, and quite nice looking graphs, I thought. I'm a bit worried that the age where they executed witches was around about mid-50s, so that kind of scared me a little bit. But never mind. I thought maybe we can make these a bit nicer. So I said, what did I say? I said, show me those graphs again, but use some of Tufte's principles. Edward Tufte is a guru. The guru of visualization. And he's got certain things he says about visualization. The main one being, don't use ink where you don't need it. So filling in those bar charts with green ink, why? That ink doesn't tell you anything. So I said, use some of his brilliant. So what the thing, it went back and it made the color like less garish. It turned it down, it toned it down, and it looks nicer. It knows about Tufte's principles. Oh no, so this already happened. So I said, okay, just take out the shading. Take out the shading altogether, because I generally find that the best bar charts with shading. They look more beautiful. Actually, I think the one it had was a bit nice. I like that little light blue, but that's what I would have gone with. No, it's taking away all the grid lines. There's no data in grid lines. Don't need them. Done a lot of stuff. Makes it, but it makes it look more good. Okay, so then I said, write a Python code to produce these visualizations. When we ended that. So all you folks in the humanities, you can write code now. Let's write some Python code for that. Tell me how to fix it, how to operate it. Tells you everything. And by the way, if you try it and you get an error message, just copy and paste the error message and chat. Oh, you've done this. Coders love writing code, making the machine do what they want, but they hate debugging code. I've spent days debugging code. I will never get that. And then, hey, give me some HTML code that I could take that visualization and stick it in a web page. That's that for me too. Okay, now this is interesting. Then I said, summarize that histogram in a poem. Bob, I know you've done haiku. You have. So I said I said, give me a poetic summary of the histogram. Let me see this. In the realm of age, a tale unfolds. Scottish witches, stories beautiful. Most between 30 and 60 did stand, accused, judged by skeptical one. Some were but young, nearing a score. Others had seen centuries or more. Yet in this dance of age and fate, middle years were the heaviest weight. So remember the tales, the young and the old, of those in the next. Oh. And I thought, that's pretty good. Done that in 10 seconds. And then I got, this is interesting. If we can get there. I said, okay, like that. I like that. By the way, it does like feedback. Say good, well done, right? That's helpful. Helpful to the time. Speaking all this time. Redo it in the style of William Shakespeare. I'm a bit of a Shakespeare fan. And it does it. In a Shakespearean style, sort of. I wouldn't know the difference. Roger might. I wouldn't. So that was quite cool. And I'm not sure what else I did. Oh, I think after that I went into some specific questions to do with a particular witch in my hometown. I won't share that with you. Now. So it turns out Shelley was right. Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. Discussion. We've come to the point where you get to talk. And I know academics they love the sound of their own voice. Don't they? Someone once told me when I was starting teaching, you need two things to be a good teacher. You need an ego, sense of humor. Right, you are now going to get into groups. Find a group. I would prefer it for groups of 6, honeycomb model, but we probably can't do that here. So just put a small group, 3 to 6. Organically do that very quickly. This is something you tell your students to do, right? But you guys should do it very quickly.
Maybe I could assign breakout rooms.
And assign breakout rooms.
Yeah, I could assign breakout rooms. Let's see.
You are going to be 10 minutes or so, and I want you in your group to discuss AI. I've got some prompt questions up there. You might have to get them up and read them, see them. But if you can't think of a question or a topic to talk about, go up there and pick one of those questions. There's a bunch on the labour movement. Because this is a union presentation, right? So there's a bunch on the labour movement, and there's a bunch on academia. Let me just tell you how this is going to end. Let me tell you how it's going to end. When we finish the discussion, we're going to ask each group who would like to stand up and give you a 2-sentence summary What the, okay.
I'll write that to everybody. One more finish this.
10 o'clock.
Yeah. So.
No, I'll try and use it.
Same thing that you're gonna ask them, 2 sentence thing, you're gonna have them write it in the chat.
Okay, good.
I think we're good to go. 45, 10 minutes. Yeah, there's a 15-minute break between. I'll let them know. But yeah, I just told them another minute or two. See, you almost got you. It almost got ready for 3 minutes. I mean, they're having a good time. But I bet you every group has something to say already. No. Just want to make sure you got enough time to close, finish everything up.
If I can get your attention. I. If I can. Well, unfortunately, there's a couple of wee things I want to show you to get them in. So we'll just stop just now. But I'm going to go around the groups. Just stand up. Have somebody in your group that likes somebody, and have them tell me a couple of sentences. It could be a question too if you want, but I'm not. No, I'm still going to get these other things done. So we'll go around the groups. We'll start with this group down here. Philip.
We to summarize really quickly,
Very quickly.
very quickly. We said that we think scientists might be less concerned about the ChatGPT movement than writers might be. And then we put out two analogies to help frame the way we were thinking about it. One being that at the advent of the calculator, mathematicians were worried about people not knowing how to do arithmetic. Not really an issue. So maybe ChatGPT isn't as bad as our initial reaction is. And then a better analogy was that it's more of a camera and that it's just kind of reflecting whatever it's fed into it. And that we have to keep that in mind.
Thanks, Philip. Roger, you're going to talk, or Emma Ray, one of the two.
Oh, I'm sorry, wait, let's see. Yes, we have no clue. Perfect. I think it was, I think if you wanted Russ, talking very generative. So there were literally 5 different ideas running around. There was no single summation there. But we did want to know if you would have it do a summation for us.
There's an amazing, let's talk.
Of us.
Of you.
Yeah.
That's coming very soon. You're gonna have little devices. Yeah. No, there's a device now that you can buy that scans, but then it analyzes it in the AI. So which other groups have we got? This one right there. Doug?
I think we were basically just looking at what it means for teaching and what it means for our students. Right? I mean, and the fact that there is a critical thinking aspect of getting the AI to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And what that means, the student can write a paper that basically is what we want. Then, where's the problem? Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just elected for herself.
Okay, and thanks for introducing the idea of critical thinking.
Yeah.
Because I never understood what was different between critical thinking and just thinking.
Yeah.
I never understood them. Anyway, on you.
Okay, so the question, kind of piggyback on what you just said in terms of, I don't know that they're actually learning anything. So that's what we were discussing. I don't know that they actually know anything. Because they're putting questions in the computer and having it tell them something. But what do they actually know? What do they know how to do? So for those of us who are asking them to read something and write a paper about it, and they put questions into ChatGPT and it writes the paper, do they actually know anything about that reading theory? Now, you have a diligent student who actually goes back over it and absorbs it after it's written, maybe, sure. But in my experience, having had students write a paper about a book that came out in 2022 and read a paper where they're talking about characters that weren't actually in the book, and it tells me that they didn't go back over it and learn anything about the book. So that's kind of where I sit. I don't necessarily feel any more comfortable Than I did when I came in the room. But I mean, I'm sure there are great uses for this. You gave some great examples of how it can be used effectively with research and all that stuff. I just don't know that our students are necessarily absorbing it that way and taking it that seriously, like, oh, this is a great research tool. I just think that they're taking a shortcut and saying, well, I don't feel like writing this paper, and since I waited until the last minute anyway, let me just ask the computer to write it. So that's kind of it.
And this is all stuff that I'm gonna be talking about in my next talk.
Oh, and Russ,
Hold on, but I've got,
and on Zoom, Joel and Diane discussed the creative aspect of AI in their group and what it can be done or used for in that capacity. So I just want to point that out, that you asked for what they did in Zoom land, so, so.
okay, I did promise you pudding and I'm running out of time. And in Britain, everything's pudding, even a trifle of pudding, right? Ice cream, that's pudding. I'm gonna email you this one, just 2.5 minutes, but we're running out of time. And I want to leave you with something that's gonna make you feel good about going into the semester, right? Because remember, for every one person who wants to teach, there are 30 that don't want to learn. But I do want to say thank you for coming. I'm going to finish with this thing, then you can go. Okay, there's one more slide if anyone wants to see it. So, but I do want to wish you all a great semester. I hope that the best of your last semester becomes the worst of this semester. You can always contact me, email, text, whatever. I love you all. Thanks for coming. And, I want to leave you with something to inspire you a little bit.
Read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion, poetry, beauty, romance, love. These are what we stay alive for. Seize the day, gather your movements while you may. Strive to find your own voice. Seize the day, look at it in another way. Seize the day, gather your movements while you may. Strive to find your own voice. Seize the day. We are members of the human race, and the human race is filled with passion, words and ideas that can change the world. The powerful play goes on. You the first. The powerful play goes on.
Do you have any special skills?
Yes, I do. I do voices.
What do you mean you do voices?
I do voices.
Dance, can you drop, I'm at the old friend.
What I can put everything to the appearance of a gift. So, keep it living on the soil, I'll be back when I'm coming as boy. Listen, rock and roll.
Dance, can you drop?
Cast your eyes to the summer sky. The day. You must strive to find your own voice. The longer you wait to begin, the less likely you are to find it at all. Seize the day, gather your movements while you may. Strive to find your own voice. Seize the day, look at it in another way. Seize the day, gather your movements while you may. Strive to find your own voice. Seize the day. In their dreams can men be truly free. This always does. It always does. Will be.
Thank you for coming. You're free to leave if you want to stay. I've got one more. I've got just one more thing to show. It'll be a couple of minutes, but you don't have to stay for it. It's not part of the thing. And the Zoom can go off.
Okay.
But don't feel obliged to stay. The talk is over.
Thank you, everybody.